Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. It's me, Fez, and
Becky.
Well done, Becky. Remembered your name. always a plus. You can tell the podcast is going to get off to a good start. So today we're on episode 37, and we actually time traveled a little bit. Everything's just been a bit wild in general. So we're kind of filling in the gaps and
heading back to June 2021.
Yeah, getting everyone up to speed with the latest developments. But we've got a few things to go, and we want to capture the whole, tell the whole story and stuff. So Becky is now going to take over.
Yeah. So we're scrolling back to June 2021, as I said, and last episode, I think we talked to you about our scans and the stimulation protocol and the injections and how that went, and the scans. So we had the last scan, and when they saw what they were pleased with, that the lining was looking good and that there were enough follicles, they booked us in for a scan on a Monday. It was June. And so basically in that last scan appointment, they tell you that they're going to book you in, and then later on that day they call you back and tell you what time you need to take your trigger shot. So I had to carry on doing the injections and then take the trigger. I think we may have mentioned this in last week's episode. So anyway, we did that, and I have never ever had any surgery before or ever had to stay over,
apart from all the cosmetic stuff.
Yeah, I wish. I've never had to stay in hospital. I've only ever broken my arm. So it was quite daunting for me. I was quite worried about it, as I'm sure lots of people are in this situation. So I was nervous the night before and going into it. And I remember we went to get a special backpack for me, because you need to take a few bits into hospital with you, like PJs, a dressing gown, slippers. And I had to take my own snack, sadly, because obviously it's during coronavirus and the pandemic, and everyone raves on Insta and social media and blogs and stuff about how amazing that cup of tea is that they bring to you after sedation, and the biscuits as well. After sedation.
What happened?
But obviously because of COVID, they didn't give me a cup of tea or any biscuits, so they tell you to take a snack. Yeah, and your own water and stuff. So that was a bit basic. But I packed my bag the night before, got everything ready, and then we had to be in pretty early.
Some people might be dipping in at this point and not have listened to the other things. So the trigger shot is basically you've taken hormones for a bunch of weeks, which gets you all feisty and gets all those eggs brewing out. And
was I feisty? We didn't talk about that.
Just messing around. So,
but was I?
I can't remember.
Can't have been that bad.
No, so they give you loads of hormones, which basically tells your body, send eggs. We want eggs.
Yeah, grow eggs, not send them.
Yeah, grow them. So then the trigger shot is another different type of hormone that they give you, which goes, let's get those eggs out.
Induces ovulation or stimulates it. I don't know.
Yeah, but basically in layman's terms. Yeah,
it's time sensitive because once the injection has happened, ovulation will occur within, I don't know if it's 24 or 48 hours.
Yeah. That's why they said weird stuff about the weekend, and if it's on they were like, if it's on this day, wait.
Yeah, we had to take it on a Saturday night for it to be okay for Monday
they don't
morning.
They like keeping their weekends clear, basically. I think so. You got to do it in a way so it doesn't ruin their weekend.
They do things on the weekend, but only transfers, not this minor surgery. So I was quite nervous, but I think I was quite calm about it going in. What do you think? It was all right.
Yeah My whole approach to it, I mean, I don't read too much, so
yeah, you do.
But my approach,
you hold my hand.
Yeah, but I mean, I just think, don't think about it, just do it, and then we'll wait and see what happens.
So I mean, what I would say to anyone who's going through it and is worried about it is just to do what Fuzz says.
Don't worry about it. Head down.
Just do what you need to do in that moment. Don't think ahead. Just do what you need to do there and then. So if that's packing
loads of people could probably disagree with what I say to do.
Yeah,
there's
no right way to
shut up, be right down, get on with it. That's literally my ethos or whatever. Even though it sucks and you have like a terrible time and you feel like shit.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't that bad or that nerve-wracking.
No, but some people might be anyway.
Yeah.
But so like, yeah, don't have to listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about.
For some people, this is just a walk in the park because they've had surgeries before and it's no big deal.
Oh, you're on about from a general anxiety of surgery in general.
Yeah.
You were scared. I woke up from my nose surgery. I had my nose done. I know you can't tell. This is perfect. Apart from this massive. If you're only listening, it's like a Winter Olympics course. It's like a slalom. It's broken in a couple of places. But anyway, I had two. Thanks for the laugh, Beck.
I like it.
Really. Yeah. What was I talking about? So yeah, I get sinus infections because my nose is broken and it's like pushed over to one side so it doesn't air out properly and stuff.
You were talking about coming around.
Yeah. They were doing an operation on me, and I was really worried about going under. But I was like, well, wherever. And I woke up. I came out of, came around or whatever they call it. And I remember just waking up and just being like, "You're amazing. I'm gonna get you a thank you card and flowers. You're amazing. What's your favorite chocolate?" All these nurses.
Yeah.
And it was weird because you're like not, I don't know. Like you didn't. I didn't think I asked you about that.
General anaesthetic. I was under local anaesthetic, so it is a bit different. You went under general, like out cold.
I was proper tripping.
Yeah. Whereas I just have a local anaesthetic. But I think the most thing I was worried about was the cannula going in into your hand. My hair.
Yeah.
No.
That's the thing you worried about the most.
Yeah. No. For anyone who's like looks conscious, which obviously I'm not because hello, for those people not watching, like I hardly ever wear makeup and I haven't got it on now. I don't wear perfume very often. She's
empowering.
I'm basic.
No,
so
you're empowering women.
You can't wear any of that stuff going into the theatre because they say it can affect the quality of the embryos.
What you call it, the perfumes and all that stuff, and they said and I was like, oh, hang on, what if Becky's working with people in school and they got perfume?
Well, I was fine because it was a Monday.
Yeah. But
it's in the theatre when they take the eggs out, not like...
No, in general, though. Pheromones and stuff.
Oh, well, not pheromones, but some people do go really organic with their makeup and
No, they have said, haven't they?
Yeah.
They said that, like...
Yeah, it's a real thing. Yeah. There's an actual company that have, like, specialised in this kind of thing. I can't remember what they're called. It's something.
Anyway, we're going down a rabbit hole. So you went in, you were worried about going in for surgery, even though you weren't going in the general.
No, but I've just never had to be an inpatient for that kind of thing. So I was a bit nervous. And the cannula was the big thing. Like I knew I would be fine.
Is that the old...
The cannula is the thing they put in your wrist or your elbow crease. It's the needle that goes in to administer the drip, because I remember when my nan was in hospital, she was like ripping hers out.
She was a beast though.
It's just like a tiny thin bit of skin on the back of your hand where they normally put it in, and I was just like,
really painful. I was in a house fire and then they checked the CO2 levels in your blood by putting it in, like drawing blood from it. And horrendous. Yeah, so
that's the... thinking about it now, it goes through
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, when they did it was fine. And then...
We just need something to talk about because we've got podcasts.
Yeah. There's so many questions as well that they ask you beforehand, like just to check what you're taking, what you weigh. They weigh you to check what dosage of anaesthetic you need and stuff like that. And the anaesthetist...
And you're always like pissed off and they're like, hang on, we might need some more.
The anaesthetist stays with you in case you need to have more pain relief in the moment, and she talks to you throughout it and stuff.
Well, you know an anaesthetist booked us for a wedding who works on a maternity ward.
Yeah. It went smoothly. Like for anyone as well who doesn't know the procedure, they obviously give you a local anaesthetic and I guess you can't feel much. I think you're meant to go like woozy, but you don't.
You can do anything.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Having local, you can just...
I was awake and I could feel things, but I guess things didn't really hurt. I don't know how they tested to see if things did hurt or not, but they get a needle and they go in through your vagina, through one of the walls of your vagina, and put the needle in through the cavity between your vagina and your ovaries, and then I guess the other end, the needle comes out in the ovaries, and then it like sucks maybe, or I don't know. They must use suction.
They take the eggs out.
They take the eggs out that way. So they make two kind of tiny incisions, I guess, with a needle into each side of your vagina to get them. And they call out the number of eggs they get as they collect
It's like
them.
bingo.
Yeah. But I just remember staring up at the ceiling and thinking, like, this ceiling's really boring. Someone needs to, like, paint it or stick
Put
a
stars
picture
on
up.
it or something, yeah.
Yeah, like, because so many women go in there and just stare at the wall. I don't know
They
if
should
anyone
put a
else is-
screen on the ceiling.
Yeah.
And then you could put, like, quotes and, you know.
Or watch Friends or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's fine. Like, I remember it being a bit uncomfortable. Like, I don't remember it hurting, but I remember being like, that's not nice.
You're like, I'm not doing this again.
Yeah.
Not doing
I
this for
won't be
fun.
coming back here. 2-star review. Yeah. So
That was our egg collection.
That was the egg collection.
I say our. That's
Yeah.
nice. Your egg collection.
and Fuzz couldn't come in with me because of COVID, and he had to go off and do his sample at the same time, because you do that simultaneously, so it's all the same
thrilling.
freshness. Yeah.
Loved
A wild
it.
experience for you.
5-star review.
Yeah.
I'm obviously joking. Like, it's a bit weird. Where's that Potala, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a bit weird.
Clinical and
Nah, because you think, look how many other people have done it. as well.
yeah. Yeah.
It's just like, eh.
There's
But wherever.
I suppose that's just like doing it in a hotel, though. Loads of people have done it there.
Spicy. That's our new thing now.
Your new thing.
No, you do it as well. If anything's cool or like not like interesting, we're like, ooh, spicy.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then once they're done and they've got as many as they think they can get, they wheel you out.
No cups of tea.
And yeah, they
You
didn't
didn't
give
get a
me
cup of tea?
no cups of tea.
No.
And I think, like, I was trying to recall how it went and whether I was a bit woozy, because
Whoops, a days ago.
yeah, people always make, you know, when they're going through this and they're recording it and videoing in the process and stuff, lots of people make funny videos of people not coming around because you're around, but of you getting over the anesthetic and being a bit like, ooh.
What are you saying? Is they're all fake?
No, they're good. But I obviously didn't have you there to take the piss out of me and be like, oh, what are you doing? But I remember them wheeling me out on the trolley, and I can't remember what the nurse said to me, but I was like, oh, I've never been here before. Yeah, so I think you do say some odd things. And looking back at my
And the local. Yeah, because people get
Yeah.
weird at the dentist and that. There's YouTube videos in there of people. But yeah, you weren't in much pain after, yeah? You know?
No, you were a bit uncomfortable. I think I took paracetamol. I had to wait quite a while for it to wear off and for you to be able to come and pick me up. But they tell you as soon as you're like well enough how many eggs they collected. And as we said in the last episode, they saw about 7 follicles with a few that had the potential to catch up. So we were expecting at least 7 eggs, but they only collected 5, didn't they?
Yeah, which is a bit of a bummer because you're like,
we were really bummed out, but not. I wasn't like completely bummed out, like, oh, that's awful.
Well, we expected some, didn't we?
Yeah.
We expected some of them. But then, like, this is the weird thing. Like, everyone always kind of goes over the numbers and they're like,
Yeah.
how many eggs did you get? And, like, you hear sometimes people say, oh, I had, like, 52 eggs or something. And you're like...
It's a lot of pressure, isn't it?
Yeah. So, really, I know this sounds hard for people listening if you're going through it and you're like, oh, I hope I get loads of eggs. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, you just need one.
Yeah.
So, like...
Yeah.
I mean, you know, some people are like, well, actually, it'd be nice to have a couple, and then but
Yeah,
you
it
know,
would. In an ideal world,
at the
it would be
bones of
lovely
it,
to
like
have.
you need one, right?
Yeah.
So
So that was good, and then we first came pick me up, and the nurse told him off for not picking up my bag straight away. Do you remember that? And then you took me for some Thai food, which was good.
yeah, wow, we
Remember?
are really catching up now. We are
Yeah.
time traveling. I remember that we went to Swansea because we were in Port Talbot,
Yeah.
and I can't remember. I'm gonna have to like look it up. But
Yeah.
I literally parked in a car park, multi-story car park. I don't know why I don't know why I needed to like make sure you knew it was a multi-story car park, not just a single-story car park. But it was a multi-story car park, and it was in Swansea.
Yeah.
And we went to the Swansea market, I went and got a Thai food and brought it back, and we just ate it in the car, and it was fucking amazing.
So good. Really, really good. Like random to eat in the car.
It was just nice. You're around nice people because they're all nice and smiley
and delicious and fairly healthy. So
I spoke to the owner there, actually. He was a firefighter, and he just started a restaurant. So
you fed me and we had a nice time, and then you drove me home. You're not allowed to drive following your egg collection because of the local anaesthetic and pain relief. And yeah, I think I slept in the car on the way home because it's quite a long journey. And I remember it being a bit of drama because we live quite close to school. And
drama?
Yeah, I remember getting worked up because we live close to school, and by the time we got home, it was like kicking out of school time, and I didn't want people to see me.
She's like, yeah, Becky.
I was like, go around
she's
the
like,
block.
you know, Beyonce, and everyone's like trying to get her autograph and stuff. I'm like, Beck, they don't care. It's just whatever. And she's like, no, you gotta hide me. And
yeah, it was bad. I think it was just because of the pressure of the day. Anyway, as soon as I got in, I just went to bed, got in my pajamas and lay down and watched TV in bed and slept, and that's it really.
Just gonna jump in and say the name of that restaurant is Thai Taste. And it is amazing.
Thai Taste in Swansea Market. Go there.
Yeah, we should go. We should go. We got some friends down there. We got to go and see soon. Well, we don't have to, but
yeah,
should. And I can go see swimming. And we should go and get some Thai food. It could be our tradition.
This is not a sponsored link, FYI. There are other Thai foods available.
But we like this one.
Yeah, we would recommend. Yeah, so that was that. And then basically from there, they just tell you to go home, rest, take it easy. They told me not to walk the dog and just chill out. And they call you the next day. Do you want to tell everyone what they said when they called us in the morning?
No, yeah, you should do that.
Why?
Because I can't remember exactly.
Okay, so obviously, as we said, we got 5 eggs collected, and we were having ICSI IVF. So that means that they inject each of the eggs with the best of fuzzer sperm. So they all got fertilized on the same day.
Just to jump in there, I wonder, like, it sounds like that's a better way of doing it. Why would they not, like, do that all the time?
I guess because there's pros and cons, and it's expensive, maybe?
Yeah. Sometimes it's like a female issue, and then if you can get the sperms and the eggs together in a dish, then it's, like, not as big a deal, and they just get on with it.
Yeah.
But for us, it was the sperm motility, was it? So they were good in general. There was just not much of them.
Not many of them.
Yeah. So they were like, oh, we'll just chuck these together. Like one-on-one.
Make sure that they meet one-to-one supervision.
Yeah. And then, interesting. So yeah, they so the next day they called you and they said...
Yeah, they fertilised them all on the same day as collection. And the next day they went back to have a look, and just 2 of them had fertilised.
Which we were really bummed out about, because we were like, we started with 7, then we got 5, and we're like, oh, well, you know, if we get, I think in my head I was like, if we get 3, because the odds are like 33%. So I was like, if we get 3, one's going to work. By the statistic, like, that doesn't actually have to be the case though, because you could have 1 and it still work, or you could have 6 and they don't work. But in my head I was just like, level kind of like, oh, if this is the way it is, get 3, happy with it. And then we got 2 and I was like,
yeah, the more that fertilise the better, because once they are fertilised and they're monitored in the lab up until 3 or 5 days, depending on the clinic and depending on how they're growing, so
they check on them every day, right?
Yeah, so the more eggs that are fertilised, the higher chance at this stage is that you'll have something to transfer. So when we only had 2, I was like, oh, what if they don't survive? So every day we would panic and think, I don't know if they're okay or not.
Yeah.
I don't think they called us again on the Wednesday. They did call us on the Thursday, and the embryologist was really nice. I remember her name was Hilary, and I was like, oh, that's nice. That's a nice girl's name. Yeah. And they were both doing really well, which was good. She said they looked nice, and they looked nice. I can't remember at this stage what grade they were, but they were maybe a day 3. And I think they called us that Thursday to say whether they would put them in that day or wait until the Saturday. So based on what they look like, they said we'll give them a bit longer to grow. So they were going to do a transfer on Saturday, and that they'd call us again on Saturday morning. So I think one was slightly better quality than the other, so they were like, we'll see if they both survive and whether you've got one to freeze or not.
Because they do say you can, like, sometimes they can say we can put both in together.
Yeah, so this is what we were thinking at that time.
Yeah.
Because they were sort of implying that one of them would be rubbish and it wouldn't be worth freezing. So we both had that question, like, we need to ask them.
If you think it's bad, chuck them both in.
Yeah, don't put it in the bin, like, stick them both in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we kept on having this conversation and decided that would be the best way to do it. And then even on Saturday morning, they phoned us and they were like, one's definitely good to do a transfer. We're not sure about if we'll freeze the other one. And then we got to the hospital and it still wasn't time to go in, and they phoned us again. And we were like, crap. Like, and I think we asked them, can you please put them both in if it's not good enough to freeze? And she said, oh, because of your age, we wouldn't do that. And they didn't tell me until I went into the theatre to have it transferred that the other one was good enough to freeze. So at this point, we knew we would only have one transferred, but we didn't know what would happen to the other one. It could potentially have just gone in the bin. So
no.
Yeah.
If it was, they wouldn't have, if it was viable, they wouldn't have chucked it away.
No.
Yeah. But it could have not been viable.
It needs to be a certain grade to freeze.
Yeah.
They said that point blank they definitely wouldn't put 2 in.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't good enough to freeze, it would have been put in the bin.
Yep. So
disposed of medically.
So one transferred, one popped in, then.
Yeah. So we got there, and they do a whole talk with you. You go back in. You have your legs up in stirrups. They show you the embryo on the screen. They do a load of like safety checks to check your name and check Chris's name, and date of birth, just to make sure that they're putting the right egg inside you. And then off they go. They do like an ultrasound on your tummy, your pelvis, like to check where they're looking, and then they stick a catheter like through your cervix into your womb, and they're looking at what they're doing all the time, and then they stick the embryo into the catheter.
And then what happened?
And squirt it in.
Sorry, I jumped in because Becky's doing a lot of talking on her own.
And then
I always, like, she kind of, it's hard when you talk on your own, you kind of naturally speed up and stuff, so I'm kind of like trying to jump in, like, whoa, breathe,
slow down,
breathe, because she's like, and then we did this, and then we did that, and then we did this, and then we did that.
Sound like a 5-year-old. Yeah.
So do you
so it was then it was in. And at that time the embryologist told me that the other one was good.
I know you wouldn't really, but like, did you feel any different? Did you feel like, wow?
No, I didn't feel different. I just really wanted you to be there, because it was wow when you saw the embryo. Like, that was the first time I saw the embryo picture, like, on screen, and it would have been really cool for you to see, because that's like the first time you ever see your potential baby.
I'm quite detached from it. I just want to be like, right, I'm not going to buy into this until it's good. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just think, because otherwise, it's like the more you invest into it, the more it'll upset you if it didn't work.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
The cool thing about it all, with Fuzz not being able to go in, is that they record the screen for you, and then they let you video it on your phone, and you can they put the embryo in some kind of liquid to help squirt it in, and you can see that it lights up like white colour on the ultrasound, so you can see it going through the tube and into your womb, and like you can see it get deposited there, and people describe it as like a flash of light. So that was cool, because I got to show you that. And yeah, like I said, the embryologist said the other one was good enough to freeze, so that was amazing. Like, so then we just had to go home. That was the biggest deal,
and you had to kind of like incubate that one.
Yeah.
And then we had a sorry, we'll put it together.
My bum's going numb. My bum's going numb.
So we'll pick up from that. Okay, so yeah, so we had to just kind of restart because one of the cameras went off. But we had one good one, that we were like
one good one in the womb.
In the womb, and then one frozen.
Yeah.
So
2
then,
little M babies.
yeah. So then, I mean, I guess that'll probably wrap up this.
Yeah. So
this episode, just like that was the process.
Yeah, that was the process.
Egg collection, no tea.
Yeah.
Angry Becky.
Yeah. One thing I would say between egg collection and transfer, ours was really straightforward, and we were really lucky because they said I was at high risk of having OHSS, which is where your ovaries get too stimulated and go big, and it's quite dangerous. So
is that the stetosis thing, or whatever where the eggs get stuck in the tubes and.
No, it's called over hyperstimulation syndrome or something. But
it can go wrong with people.
Yeah, and sometimes when that happens, people have frozen embryo transfers, so they have to wait, so they don't get the fresh transfer
because it's too close to the release of the eggs.
It just that your body needs to calm down because your reproductive system is like in overdrive, and your ovaries are swollen. I guess it's too much pressure, they would assume, on your womb and whatnot. It's not like an ideal situation, but ours was good. And in that week they just say in between transfer to rest as much as you can and drink loads of water and have a high protein diet to prevent any of that OHSS stuff.
You didn't really.
I drank so much water.
I think you can drink too much water.
Yeah, but
no, but the protein stuff, I'm like, come on, let's get some meat. And you're like, yeah.
I didn't go.
I think you need to eat more protein in general.
Maybe. So yeah, that was that process, and it was pretty cool.
So yeah, like basically, I think we're just catching up, like we said, with the whole process and stuff. But I think that's where we'll leave it today, right?
Yeah.
And then in the next episode,
we'll talk about the 2-week wait and the results of our transfer.
Yeah. So basically, next episode, like Becky said, we'll talk about all that kind of in between waiting around and then what to expect, with because they scan us, right? Yeah. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being with us. It's a bit kind of rinky-dink, trying to put it all together, like, because
you sound like an aristocrat. Rinky-dinky-dinky.
Aristocrat. Rinky-dink. Yeah, because we're kind of time traveling a little bit, because lots of wild stuff's happened this year, which you'll find out about in the next episodes that are coming up. But right now, our journey, what we're time traveling again, like, remember, is that egg collection, first egg collection done, 7 eggs, 2 of them dropped off.
3 of them.
3 of
4.
them. No, like
5.
Let's just bullet point it. So 7 egg first egg collection, 7 eggs taken, 2 of they did.
7 follicles counted.
Right, 7 follicles counted.
5 eggs.
5
taken,
eggs
collected, and 2 fertilized.
2 fertilized, and then we lost 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1 went into Becky as a fresh transfer, and 1 was frozen for later.
In time.
Yeah.
Cairo, baby.
So, like we said, next episode, we go back after 2 weeks. They scan us and they tell us what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks again, everyone, for listening. We will be having more episodes coming out. Like, there's probably going to be honest, I think there's going to be like 4 or 5 episodes just chucked out there in the next 2 weeks just to get everyone up to speed, because we've got a lot of stuff to go over. And then we'll be back on track with the kind of like weekly episode. Yeah. So if you enjoy the podcast, let us know. If you've got any ideas or you want to come on and talk to us about your story, that'd be awesome as well. Becky does all the socials, so you can get hold of Becky on the Hope and Mum Dad Instagram, which is at HMAD.
No, at Hope and Mum and Dad.
At Hope and Mum and Dad, don't listen to me. And obviously on YouTube and everywhere you get podcasts. But honestly, we want to hear from you guys. We want to know how your journeys are going. Get in touch with us. If you've got any questions, if you're about to go into this kind of stuff, or you want to ask us anything, ask us it. We could even maybe answer some questions on the next podcast as well. So, follow us, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Share it with other people that you might think appreciate it. And thanks again.
Have a good day.